What's up guys? My name is Natalie and welcome to my Nook of novels. Long time no see. There has been a lot of chaotic stuff that has happened between now and the last time I filmed a video. Mostly though, I have just been drowning in homework and I really haven't had a free second this entire semester where I didn't have homework I was supposed to be working on, and I have less than a week left of school and I still kind of have some stuff that I need to hurry up and get finished and turned in before the end of the year. So yeah, but I am very excited to be back and I'm not really sure what my video schedule is going to be looking like for the summer. We'll just see when I have time. I'm not going to try too hard to be posting like a very specific day every single week like I was before, just because I have a lot of other stuff I'm trying to do as well, and I just kind of want to have fun and get as much content up as I can without stressing myself out about it. So yeah, in terms of reading, I have not really read a lot because like I said, I've been drowning in homework and haven't really had a chance to, but the book I'm currently reading is Malice by John Gwynne and I am halfway through it and I need to finish this by Tuesday for a school assignment. So hopefully this will be finished by then and then I can move on to these next books that I'm going to be choosing. And so what I'm doing with this wheel for right now is I'm just going to spin it 4 times and I'm not really putting a time limit on when I need to have these read by. 4 is a pretty good number, I feel like, for having a list of books where I feel like I have some variety and it's fun to like spin the wheel a few times and get those books, but it's not so stressful with having like a giant stack that I need to read. So that's why I'm going with that number, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do this every month or if I'm just going to spin it again after I finish 4 books, or what I'm going to do with my punishment books, because I still think it's fun to have those, but it's also stressful to not be able to finish TBRs. So we'll just see what I decide for that, but right now I'm not worrying about the punishment thing. I'm just going to spin this thing. So I don't really know what I want to read. I'm in the mood to just read, so I don't really care what it is that I'm gonna be reading. One thing though is I also have read 2/5 or so, I don't know, maybe a third, a decent chunk of The Invention of Hugo Cabret. I got this from a used bookstore the other day, and even though I really need to finish Malice, I just couldn't help it. I started it because it just seemed so cute, and I remember it from my childhood wanting to read it but being so intimidated by the size. But it's full of pictures and the text is huge, so it's really not a lot to get through at all. And so I'm also going to finish this up after I finish Malice, but again, it's super quick and tiny, not tiny, but it's super quick, and so I definitely think that, I don't know where I was going with that sentence. I'm not gonna put that on this TBR because I'm just going to read that and then move on to these. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into spin number 1. Middle grade. Also, I should mention that when this thing lands on the same space twice in a row, then I add a book. So I will still be doing that just because it's a fun little rule that spices it up a little bit. I'm not really sure why, but I kind of have been super in the mood for some middle grade fantasy recently, which is not something that I usually gravitate towards. I feel like I do read a decent amount of middle grade, but it's not always something that I'm like, I really want to read this right now. The book that I'm going to choose for this is the next book in the Chronicles of Narnia series because I really need to be getting through some more of my series. Ooh, I just had a thought. I could also pick a Percy Jackson book or the Third House Moving Castle book, but I'm not going to do that, I don't think. I do really though need to read another Percy Jackson book because I need to get to those vlogs. However, I want to pick this. We're gonna be spontaneous and pick this one. The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's number 5 out of 7 in this series. Part of me kind of wanted to pick Peter and the Starcatchers, but I don't need to start a new series. I feel like I am being very chaotic right now, which Chaotic Natalie is great for filming videos because she makes them fun and exciting, in my personal opinion. I just shuffled these. I know you couldn't see, but it's whatever. Who cares? I'm gonna switch out the middle grade prompt for author initials. So an author who their initials are on the cover of the book. I don't know if that makes sense. So like C.S. Lewis, for example, as an author, they go by their initials. I feel like I'm over explaining this. I'm probably just making it more confusing. Spin number 2. A YA book. I love how we're getting the age ranges. This is kind of fun. It's very broad, so it's kind of like I could pick genuinely anything for this. So logically, I should probably pick either People Kill People by Ellen Hopkins or An Abundance of Catherines by John Green, because I'm technically in the middle of both of these. I started them at some point and didn't have time to actually read them, so I stopped reading them. They're both ones that are super intriguing, but I kind of don't want to pick either one of these right now. I'm not super in the mood for them, and I feel like I could enjoy them a lot more if I read them when I am in the mood for them. And they're definitely ones that I'm super excited about, so I don't think that I will be hesitating to pick those up at some point soon. So I feel reasonably good about not choosing those for right now. My ankle just popped. However, there is one that I picked up from Barnes & Noble the other day that for some reason just seems exciting to me recently. It's probably because I'm super in the mood for fantasy. That book is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I barely even know what this is about. I think it's some sort of Little Mermaid retelling, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not that, then it's just kind of a fantasy having to do with sea creatures. It's one that I've like heard people talk about and reasonably enjoy, and it's just never one that I was super interested in, but it's been catching my attention and I kind of really want to read it right now. So I'm gonna add this to the little mini TBR. Ew, I keep like accidentally picking up hairs with these prompts. I really need to vacuum my floor, but I have been a little bit too busy for that. Switching out the prompt for finish a series is something that I need to do at all times. Spin number 3. Number generator for book title. So what that means is I'm going to pull up a random number generator and put in 1 to 7, and whatever number it lands on, that many words has to be in the title of the book I choose. 1 to 7 and generate. It shows 7. So I need a title that has 7 words in it. One of us is next. Escaping from Houdini. Absolutely not. Okay, this one's kind of a hard prompt. I didn't realize how few books there are with super long titles. So I found 2 that are pretty good contenders. The first one is A Heart and a Body in the World by Deb Coletti. I don't really remember what this is about, but it is a contemporary and it's probably depressing considering I purchased it and was interested in reading it. The next one is The First to Die at the End by Adam Silvera, and I think you guys know which one of these 2 I'm gonna choose. It's this one. I really enjoyed They Both Die at the End, and this is the prequel, and it is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, which means it includes special content. I don't know what that means, but it's special. It has a little shiny sticker, so that's exciting. And it's depressing. I love depressing things. I'm guessing it is because people die at the end. So if y'all don't know what They Both Die at the End is, I really haven't been explaining any of these books now that you mention it. It's whatever. Chaotic Natalie. We love her. They Both Die at the End follows these 2 characters. That's the plot of the book. So, okay, if people in this world get a call when... I can't. Explaining is not my strong suit. We've been over this. People in this world get a call on the day that they're going to die, and they just know they're going to die that day. They don't know how, they don't know what time, they don't know any of that stuff, and these 2 people fall in love in the day that they're going to die. There's a lot of fun character dynamics, friendship dynamics, and there's a whole web of people and like how they connect to each other, and it's super cool. And the way that different people deal with the grief of like knowing that they're gonna die, it's a super fun time. And so I'm excited to read this prequel and experience it as well. It's kind of long. She's a little chunky. She's over 500 pages, but I don't think it'll take me a super long time to read because I'm sure I will really love it. Switching out the prompt for the 4th and possibly final spin. Big book, 450 pages or more. Spin number 4. A small book. The complete opposite of the prompt I just pulled out. 250 pages or less. How many pages is House of Many Ways? Okay, so I'm kind of really indecisive about this prompt. One thing that I could do is be a little quirky and different and put a classic on the TBR. I normally don't gravitate towards classics, and I don't know that I'm gravitating towards this right now, but I'm not opposed to reading it, if that makes sense, because I am just in a super reading mood. So I could put this one on there. I could also put Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Paw. I think is how you say that, because I got this a few weeks ago. It's super water damaged because I took it on a ride where we got soaked, but it's okay. She has personality. This is an intriguing cover. It's a horror, in case you couldn't tell, and I read the first little bit of this and it seems super interesting. Like, the first line is just really funny to me. How the Are you this rich? The concept, like, they're in this old house that's supposedly haunted. The characters, I don't know if they necessarily believe that it's haunted or not, but they're just intrigued by that, and they're staying there for a bit, and it seems pretty cool. But again, I don't know if I'm super in the mood for this right now, but it's one that I'm definitely super excited for, so I might put it along with these two books in the I don't feel super bad not picking it right now, because I definitely think that I will soon, because I'm super excited for it. And so I'm almost more inclined to pick this up because it's not one that I think I'll pick up at a different point in time. I have 3 like comfortable books on here that I am super excited for, that are well within my comfort zone, and this one is not so much. So I feel more morally good putting this one on my TBR for the sake of my I don't really know. I'm picking this one. I'm gonna switch out the prompt for my next Wheel of TBR experience. Scroll on Goodreads. This means that I will scroll on Goodreads until somebody has shelved or reviewed or done something with a book, until I see a book that is on my TBR. Usually I try to find 3 of them and pick between those 3 books so that it doesn't just pigeonhole me into reading just the one if it's something that I don't really want to read. So that is that prompt. So here's the stack. It looks bigger than it is because this is another teeny tiny book. So really the stack looks more like this, which I think is quite manageable. I say that. Again, I'm not putting a time frame on this. So just whenever I finish those, I will read some more books, as, you know, readers do. They tend to read things after they finish the other things that they're reading. That was quite a sentence. I'm not really sure what that was. Anyway, but before those, again, I'm aiming to finish these, which looks like a lot. And I'm going to be very proud of myself for getting through all of those pages. This has been fun. Filming videos is really fun, and I'm glad to be back. This thing is honestly the light of my life. I don't know how to wrap up this video. I don't know if I remember my outro. That is all for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please hit the like button and subscribe if you would like to, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see the other videos I post. Normally I would say on Tuesdays. I'm not saying that because I don't want to get your hopes up and then abandon you again. Comment down below what your next read is that you're planning on reading. I didn't really know what was about to come out of my mouth as I was speaking. I don't know if you could tell by the way that the words protruded. Let me know what your next read is going to be. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.